We want to start off with a reminder that we are not doctors. Before you make any changes or try something new, always consult with your doctor and medical team first. Chronic illness can vary from patient to patient, so it's always best to consult with your own doctor for what is best for you.
Welcome back to IBD Determined. I'm your host, Mason Harvey, and I speak from the role of a patient, and I have Crohn's disease.
And I'm your other host, Michelle Harvey. I am Mason's mom, and I speak in the role of a caregiver. And today's show is going to kind of be about support systems. And so that's going to bring in what our book is about, because we mentioned the book we published in May, and it became available in June. And so we're going to go more into that so you guys can learn a little bit about who we know, who is our support systems, and maybe relate that to your own lives. So you want to kick it off with news of the week, what was going on in our lives?
So what did we do this week besides a lot of college work and finals and stuff? We got to go to the blood bank this week because this it's a Comic-Con blood drive where the blood bank goes to the Comic-Con.
Yeah, and and for most of you who don't know, we're in San Diego.
Yeah, we're in San Diego.
Yeah, so the Comic-Con's a big deal here.
Very big deal. And so it was last week. But it was really cool. You got these really cool custom shirts.
Yeah, that's what we're wearing. The amazing.
They're limited.
Yeah. Yeah. So blood donors got these. We did a kind of volunteer thing that Mason's going to tell you about how we got our shirts.
So they were doing a kind of like a news interview with
press conference.
Yeah, with two different news crews. So the blood bank had a press conference because they were receiving a proclamation. And so that was very cool.
And it was the 50th.
Yeah, the 50th
blood drive with Comic-Con. So it was a big deal. So there was a proclamation.
And they do that yearly.
Mm-hmm. Right? They do these
So for 50 years. So that's a pretty big deal. Mm-hmm. And so that was really cool because I got to speak there. And so unlike most speeches, I had a piece of paper with some bullet notes on what to cover. And so that was pretty fun. But before I did the speaking part, there was a little sneak peek live of what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I think they call it like a teaser, like on the news. Like they cut to the reporter who's on the scene, and she had asked Mason, Mason was the only team survivor member there. So they had Mason there, they had someone from the Comic-Con, and they also had a county supervisor there as well. So
yeah, but it was cool because it was funny because I'm standing off to the side just watching everything happen.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't aware that we were going to be doing a teaser. And then they go, "Hey, come over here. We're going to do a little teaser." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, so I just
lucky Mason.
Yep. Then I managed to say good things, and yep, that went well.
Yeah. No, he always does good.
Yeah.
He always does very well. He just speaks honestly. And he does a great job, just like he did in the actual press conference. He did a great job. And his part of what he said was also featured on the news on another station. It was a cool event. And we invited my parents this time.
It was really cool because they get to be there. Usually they don't get to be at these. They got to be at a gala once.
Yeah, but they've never gone to one where you've been on the news.
They've never been to a news conference or the blood bank. Ones so that was really cool for them to see the blood bank, the donors, because they got to go back and see me thank them as well because we did that after the press conference.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice setup. It had these really cool banners.
Yeah, these amazing banners that they used for the press conference, but they're going to be going with them to Comic-Con.
Yes.
And super cool banners. One of our friends appeared on one of the banners. He has a cosplay character that. He actually, last year, Mason spoke to the board of directors at Comic-Con, not the Comic-Con board of directors, but the San Diego Blood Bank. And so he did that. And one of the cosplayers who was our friend was invited to appear as well. And so this year he made it onto one of the banners and he was stoked.
He was so excited.
Yeah, he was so happy.
Cosplay. It's like a steampunk, I guess you would say.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got these fold-out wings. He's got a little bird.
It's insane.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then prior to that, we had gone to the blood bank to drop off some books for them, the new books, and to bring them some, tomatoes because it's the
It's
Mariner
so
Bank.
funny because
So
they're
weird.
so used to us, they're so excited
Yeah,
because we bring cookies, we bring
we're pretty
all the sugary
elaborate.
stuff, all the fun
Yeah,
stuff that they love.
yeah,
And we pull up with tomatoes and chocolate chip cookies, and they're
yeah.
looking like,
They're like, okay, and we're like, okay, you have to read the book to understand.
it's so funny
So
because some of them just took a cherry tomato and they're like, thank you.
I
It's like,
know, I
no,
was like, you
that's
can
not,
have more. It
no, there's,
was, yeah, but it was a cool thing to do. But while we were there, so we usually go in the San Diego Blood Bank. So there's multiple centers where they collect donations, obviously. And some of you listening may have been to these. Some of you may have them in your own towns, your own cities where you live, your own kind of blood banks. But here we have the main center, and we call it Gateway. What's so because it's on Gateway. They have like a whole executive team up on their upper floors, and they have the labs, they have the scientists. It's
it's crazy because when
the
you see the
nurses.
other blood banks
Hmm.
and then you see this, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
it's a factory.
Yeah. So we go all over when we go there and bring cookies for everybody. So we get to go in every room, we get to see every person. And it's a few hours long event when we usually do this. And one of the places we went to, there's a book behind us, and it's
So the
Mason's Not Your Average Slice of Pizza. And we just replaced it. This book that we put up there that's going to be in the podcast from here on out is from one of the she used to work at the San Diego Blood Bank, and loved Mason's story, and she'd always kept his book, and she recently passed away. And so when we were there, they gave us the book because they said it was so special to her that they know that, would have meant a lot to her to know Mason got the book back. And so now we told him, perfect, it's going to be in our podcast.
Yep, so
And
it'll live on forever.
yeah,
I believe that was one of the books from the original signing we
it
did.
was because we did a signing there.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
it's crazy to think that she was there
Yeah.
to
Now
sign
she's,
up for it,
yeah,
and
it's
now she's
crazy.
not. It's
It's,
crazy to
yeah.
think about that, but now, a part of her will live
We
on.
can think about her. Yeah. And so we thought that was pretty amazing. And so this kind of leads us into what we're talking today, which is kind of we can mention about our book, but really about support systems and the people who you meet along the way and become a part of your story. And so this book, Not Your Average Food Pyramid, some people are excited because they think it's like, some kind of like food dietary guide.
Yeah,
And
diet.
it's like not at all. You got to think in the context of Reggie. First of all, being food. So
Pyramid, that does not
right,
work. I don't
right.
think that will ever work for this genre.
No.
No.
So this is really all the different food groups that are a part of Reggie's life, all the different food that falls into those groups that he has met since his diagnosis. It's pretty cool because in the book we also have a page where we have, I can show you guys really quick. One of the pages.
There you go.
Yeah. And that is our page for our daily vitamins. And that's where a lot of people fall into our friends and family that have been supporters because these are people who were in his life before, after.
Yeah, a cool little Easter egg with that page, that picture you just saw.
Hmm.
Is if you remember the book, there is a bunch of the original drawings that I drew during the hospital, and
Yeah.
they're at the bottom of every page, right? And all the drawings in these books, the characters at least,
Hmm.
are all drawn after and drawn. This one, these were all drawn during while we're making this book.
Right.
So nothing during the hospital really. But we put some of the original drawings
Yeah.
into this book, put arms and legs and eyes and smile on them.
Yeah. Turn them into
But
characters.
so that's it, like
Kind of
she said.
mixing the
Yeah, the
before
before and the after.
and the after
But we
together.
have the
So,
original characters that inspired the whole story that are actually in this book, and it's a really interesting one. Now we couldn't
yeah.
put the pizza in it because that wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah.
But these ones, they're really fun ones.
And so, like, you guys, if you have this book, you can see there's several Easter eggs in it.
There's a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah, and it's not just about and there's people who because everyone in here is a real person that has influenced Mason either through personal, we've known them personally or people that he might watch on YouTube. You're not always going to find support maybe in somebody who is a family member. Maybe it's going to be a friend. Maybe it's going to be someone that you've recently met that
Maybe
is,
it will be
it could be
maybe it will be a cooker.
anybody.
football team,
right,
you
who's also in our
they
book.
would reach out to you.
Right. It's pretty cool. And one of the stories that I think would be cool to share on here because it really is an amazing story. He actually did a YouTube he has his own YouTube with millions of followers. Okay, so he's like legit, not like us. Just not like our level.
Just tiny.
But legit, we are legit YouTubers because we're on here, but
Yeah.
numbers wise, subscribers,
We're
it,
YouTubers, but we
yeah,
don't have, this guy's in the millions, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
easily.
And so he had received Mason's first book and he read it on his channel and you guys can find it. I mean, he's RC Sparks and he read it with his goats and it was the coolest thing to see him reading Mason's first book. And recently they got a copy of our second book. They got an author's copy because he's actually a part of this story, a part of
Mhm.
Not Your Average Food Pyramid, hit along with his partner and his son. So cool. So we'll start at the beginning because I don't want to, like spoiler alert. We may have said this in other podcasts talked about him. I'm not sure. So his online name is RC Sparks.
Sparks,
That's
yeah.
what most, but to us, he is Aaron.
Yeah.
And so,
Sparks
and
and
his
his son
partner
is Josh.
Jem and his son Mo back, I don't know what
Before
year,
the hospital, easily
like
2019,
18,
2018.
probably something.
Yeah, around that time, I would watch these videos on the big TV of, he had all the art. He plays with RC cars.
Right.
I love RC cars. The Max, X Max,
He really inspired and
Yeah,
cost us a lot of money
yeah.
because
Well, it was worth it, right?
good, but for all good stuff,
I remember the videos where he had the X Max, which is a Traxxas, put
Yeah.
these paddle wheels on it and drove it across a pond, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow,
He
it was really fun, and yeah,
he was, yeah, it was an amazing, and it was cool just to see their family and, watch their son grow. And so right before I would say Mason was hospitalized, not like right before, but it sure feels close to it. It's hard to remember now because
yeah,
it's been
you
like
can't.
6 years.
It's hard to remember after so
Yeah,
much
but
time,
I know,
especially during a time where it was so blurry with what was going
right,
on.
right. Sometimes when you go through trauma, I think it makes it difficult to
Mhm.
maybe remember other things that maybe happened before. It's really interesting how that happens. But
Mhm.
Mason was watching RC Sparks in our family room, and our kitchen faces our family room, so we can see. I was in the kitchen, he was in there. Aaron was going through. He was at the hospital. He was going through some health stuff, and I remember you got really, I think, really scared for him. You
Mhm.
were very upset because you were really worried about him. He had said something at a time that didn't click with us because we'd never heard of Crohn's disease. And at the time, I think he'd mentioned the word Crohn's.
Yeah, he said something like, "I have Crohn's disease,"
Yeah,
and I heard that, and I was like, "He has a disease,"
yeah. And it was like, it was pretty upsetting. And so, he's a resilient guy. He went on with his show, kept doing stuff. And it's interesting because it didn't stick with me like it would now, that hearing Crohn's. And this is one of the reasons why I talk about this disease so much because it shouldn't be overlooked or
Mhm.
thought of as simple because we see him with our C cars, we see him with son,
Mhm.
we see him doing all kinds of things and you're thinking, he's doing
Yeah, yeah.
great. And you have no idea
What they're going
what
through.
they're actually going through. And so when Mason was diagnosed and we heard Crohn's
Crohn's disease,
disease,
you're like,
it was like, well, we didn't know what it
no. But after a while, realizing
all
he
of a
said
sudden I
Crohn's
think we
disease, and
connected when
yeah,
we were like,
like,
hey,
wait,
wait
didn't
a
R.C.
minute.
Sparks say he had Crohn's
And I was
disease?
like,
And then I was
I
like,
think you're right.
and because then, like, I obviously didn't know about Crohn's disease, but it was like it wasn't exciting, but it was like, oh wow,
Like
because it
all
felt
of a
like a
sudden you
form of
knew somebody.
connection, a
Yes.
connection.
All of a sudden it was like, oh my gosh, I'm not
Yeah.
alone. When I had left his room that day and his dad came up and because again, only one parent could be in the room. And so that was really rough. So I went out to my favorite bench outside of the hospital and I sent a message. I just found, RC Sparks, I went to his site, messaged him and about Mason. Didn't think much of it because I'm like, I know this guy gets so many messages and,
Yeah. You have
um,
these YouTubers with millions of subscribers.
yeah,
You reach out to them, and sure, yours might stand out, But when there's millions of other comments that are all just black and
Right.
white text on a screen,
It's hard
it's
to
so easy to
comment.
scroll over it. Nobody,
Honest. Like
yeah.
I mess up all the time, like even with text. I get so many, like sometimes just from like normal stuff and work, you're always trying to balance the stuff. And so when you get these outside requests from people like,
And it's like,
hey,
yeah, I've gotten
hi,
this request several times.
right. And I'm thinking in my head, probably other people have reached out to him about this because of that episode that, so I didn't think too much of it. And then I got a message back and better than a message, it was a voice message.
Message
He
from
actually,
himself, from Aaron Darcy
yes.
Sparks himself. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
And I couldn't wait. I think I called, Jason, his dad. I called Jason. I'm like, okay, we need to switch. I have to let Mason, he needs to hear this. So I need to go play this for him. And it was pretty cool playing that for Mason and letting him hear it, like from one of his biggest idols on. And that it was like,
Hearing their voice specifically talking to you
mhm,
is it's amazing.
yeah. And then
There's no words for
he was like, I sent him an RC car. He's like, I couldn't. Obviously, it's not going to be
it.
like one
No,
of
they're not
his
that's
insane ones,
crazy, right?
but he got one off of Amazon that was a good RC
Mhm.
car, and
And it actually worked because
I think
it's
you
a
drove it.
smaller one. It worked in the room, right?
Yeah.
And actually, what's really funny is I have been messing with a bunch of my RC cars, right? We have quite a bit.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, and I think we stopped using them in 2022. They were
Yeah.
out in the outside for some reason. We didn't bring them inside.
We got some
Rainy
rain.
weather.
Yeah, and we never
They're
get rain,
yeah,
like barely here.
never.
Something happened.
And
Yeah.
a bunch of them are like completely broken. And so it's kind of sad that none of them work. And so just recently I've gotten kind of back into them, seeing what I can fix. And I
Mhm.
just pulled one out and we put some back because they're kind of not fixable yet. We don't really know
Yeah.
what to do about it. But I have one out right now and it just so happens to be the one that we're talking about. So I'm going to go get it really quick.
Okay.
All right, so I'm back and I have it with me. But this thing, look at this. And you know how you know it's legit when you can do this and look at all the
Yeah.
goodies inside.
Yeah.
This is really cool. I mean, it's got the servo. It's got this really nice suspension. It was a really cool one, and I believe at the time when I got it, his son Mo had one that looked like this.
Yeah. He might have
Yeah.
because they think
And
they.
so that's why
Yeah.
it was so cool because hey, look at this is like the one that Mo
Yeah.
had. And so it was really cool because now you also have the connection to I have an RC car from the man that got me so into RC cars, and that's
Yeah.
an amazing achievement. And so this is kind of where it all started in
Yeah.
terms of
And he would drive this little
yeah,
car around the hospital room. He made like
an
obstacles
obstacle
and
course, and this
could
thing could
they could
handle the
climb
yeah.
and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Gonna sit here, Daddy.
Mm,
And it's gonna go over here.
okay. So that was a really cool gift. And
And
so
alone, him talking to me and,
taking the
taking the
time,
time to
right, to do
talk
that,
and talk through things
incredible.
and, not just a text, but his voice, that was an amazing gift in itself. And the fact that he sent an RC car to my room, yeah,
Yeah.
that was so cool.
And and so then beyond that, we also purchased one of his. He had ended up moving. He lives in Canada, so there was no, like, we live very far, about as far apart as you could live on opposite ends. And so
Unfortunately,
we're so
he's trying
far.
to get away from us.
Yeah, yeah. And so they ended up moving to a like this incredible farm, and they have really restored, they've worked on their house, they've built, they have, it's incredible. I don't know how, like how they do it. But they have goats, they have blueberries, they have sunflowers,
One of the
all these
goats
things.
taste tested the book when he
Yes.
was reading the book to his
And
audience. That was funny.
really it was like a pretty cool, we got to watch them, because he had kind of taken a, I don't know, like a break or just a step back from the RC cars. And I think he still enjoyed the RC cars,
Yeah.
but as far as like your life being
I
on
mean,
YouTube.
I get that. When it's doing something you enjoy,
Yeah.
you're gonna like it. But when you're doing something you enjoy for work, it's gonna take the fun out of it, and
Changes
you're
things.
not gonna enjoy it as much.
And so recently, though, he has
He's getting back
started
into it.
doing this. And because the way that they're doing it, and again, this is another way of supporting people. This is what makes, Aaron, Jem, and Mo so incredible. is that they have turned their property into like they
It's
have an
RC
RC,
Haven.
yeah, like park that
It
is
is so
so
cool.
cool. And they have, their own trails. They have climbing. They have, they're going over streams. Like it's incredible. And what they do is they invite people just to come over
And that's what I love
and have a good time.
because he had videos, and I still those are actually some of my favorites. Those are what got me into it
Hmm.
of him driving the RC cars, and those were really cool. But he had these videos of these climbing courses with these RC cars,
Hmm.
and there'd be about 25 people with their RC cars, and someone would have a tow truck to role play pull one out the
Yep.
rocks because it got stuck. Instead of just putting your hand in there, they hook the little
Right.
tip to it and pull it out.
It was so
And
cool. Like
it's so amazing because it's not just an RC car at that point. It's a way for people to socialize
to
and
connect.
to connect, and they're all just enjoying climbing these rocks and having their good day. And that's what
Yeah.
stood to about out to me so much was that it brought people together.
Right. And that's what they're doing again. That's kind of what's inspired Mason to go back through his RC cars because it's like that love of just the enjoyment of creating these different beasts. You have like there are ones that climb, you have ones that are like fast and
Yeah,
you
drive across water, and then you have
yeah.
ones that specialize in driving at a 90-degree angle
And
for
so
no reason.
it's a really cool hobby.
It
And
is.
I think what is neat is finding ways to support yourself and, Aaron finding ways to support his own diagnosis and, helping others who might be going through something. We talk about that all the time. You never know what somebody is going through, ever. Every single person out there is going through something right now. And it is cool to find a way to connect and kind of just bring people joy and kind of forget where you're at in life, with the difficulties and just focus on the good. One of the cool things out of all of this, we have a real friendship now with them. So
She'll get a text
I
from
get,
them
yeah. And
sometimes.
Jem is like one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Like I adore her. She is so cool and she always knows what she has like the best way to say things. She will, when we're messaging each other, it's just it's really neat to have a friendship. And so now when we watch their videos, it's like, oh, there's our friends. And what a cool experience that is. Really, why we wrote this book is because we want to show the ways you can find support and
Mhm.
you can also help others. That's another big
Yeah.
part. It's not just
It's
about
not just
like,
helping me.
right, like that's where Mason
Help
is.
you help me
How do I
help
help
each
you?
other.
Yeah, yeah. And so that is a huge
Others.
part of it because being a victim is really easy to do
Mhm.
when you have been diagnosed with something. I don't say it like a victim in a negative way. I'm
Mhm.
saying it that you do
It's
feel like
yeah,
it.
it's easy.
It's unfair. It
Mhm.
feels like
I
this,
mean, if you feel like that, that's natural. It's
right?
all right. Don't feel bad like, oh, I'm doing this to myself. No.
Hmm.
And when you have Crohn's disease and you're watching, who knows, everybody else do what they want and not have to worry
Yeah,
about it, it's
yeah,
easy to feel like you're the victim.
right. And
And you
then
partially
people,
are, but you can turn it into
yes,
something better.
and sometimes people will make you feel bad about that, like because they don't understand what you're
Mhm.
going through. And so, what we always hope to do here is be a support system and know that you can reach out to us and talk to us because no judgment. It's this disease affects everybody very differently. And so, even someone with Crohn's may not be sympathetic because they may feel like, oh, I just do this. You should be able to do this. And that's really hard too
Yeah.
because it's like with cancer, and not all of them are the same. Not all of them are treated the same. And so, when somebody disregards somebody else and doesn't take time to listen to them or you know it's sad. And so hopefully we can be that for you guys.
Understand what you're going through
Right.
and be the tow truck that is there in the RC Sparks video.
Right.
Right?
Put you out,
Show you how.
whatever.
When people are like, if I can do it, you can do it. They just don't see the disease like you do. And a good way to see it is they are a big RC car with cl tires meant for climbing, and you are a smaller RC car that physically cannot do
Right.
something.
Right.
And so they just cannot put it into perspective what you have. And so,
Yeah, it's true. And
you
that's
have them learn or you need someone to tell you back up.
and I think it's important for all of us to find somebody. It could even be like in his book. One of the other examples we have is like Dr. Targan,
Hmm.
Dr. Bauman, Dr. Miller. And so we have different doctors, even his
Great
dentist,
support for
Dr.
surgery
DePierre,
too.
Dr. Gardner, your ortho. We have
Uh-huh.
like medical teams because a lot of people like I think you view your medical people as like foreign to you. Like
Hmm.
it's very, you don't understand it. They're doing this, you're doing, but if you look at them as like your partner in this and part of that support team,
Hmm.
I think that changes
It
everything.
does.
It's like you don't look at them like these are people that just want to hurt me. They just don't want to. It's like
No, yeah,
if you have the wrong team, medical team, maybe now's the
yeah,
time to expect.
it's
Yeah,
time to change. But
but
if you have the right medical team
mhm,
and like my college professor said, and this is a really important thing when it comes to just life in general, don't be just a number, be a human. And
mhm,
so when you're this person's patient, don't just be like, uh-huh, yeah.
right,
You talk to them, engage in conversation. Every time Dr. B comes in the room,
yeah,
we're not just like, oh yeah, interesting. All right. So I guess we'll have to do that. No, we start off by talking about some fun story. Her
right,
story, our story, what happened. And so before you even begin talking about your health, you're
right,
starting off on a great limb. You're getting connected to each other. You're personalizing the experience.
right,
And so you're building a bond. And in that, you will really see that it feels like family and not just, oh, those are
yeah.
some doctors over there that, it's their job to help me. No, you're going to
Right.
feel a lot more connected to them, and it's important.
And so, and then like, then that also brings in like therapists,
Mhm.
there's, and obviously they are there too, that
Yeah,
is something very important that you should never feel like I don't need that. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe it's just important to have that tool
exactly.
in the
God bless
toolbox.
Jeannie.
I know, like Jeannie was amazing,
Mhm.
his therapist.
I'm still
And so
convinced that no therapist could do it. No, not saying that they're
I know
bad.
there's
No, I'm
other,
saying that she
but
was just too good.
she was incredible. And
Oh,
but you found someone you connected with.
yeah.
And so we have been fortunate enough to surround Mason with people that care about his well-being, that care about his health, that just care about Mason. And that is such a gift in itself. You don't need to have, like in our book, we do a whole pyramid full. And it's like, it's okay if the whole pyramid isn't full.
Beautiful.
There's room for
Okay,
more,
you
you know?
remember that it's quality over
Right.
quantity.
Right. And that's the important thing.
I
And
could have 200 friends, but would they all
right.
be quality? No. But
Right.
would it be better if you had five friends and they are the best friends that you could ever have? Now
Yeah.
that is going to make you feel a lot better.
And I think those friends, what is really an important quality is also their differences. And so
Hmm.
that's what we also discuss in here because that's the important thing is that, Reggie's not just looking like
Friends
it.
with pizza, friends with
Yeah,
pizza, friends with
right.
garlic bread, friends
It's
with spaghetti,
like,
friends with
no,
pizza.
every level offers something different. And that's important to remember in life and to embrace and encourage friendships that are different
Hmm.
than who you are. And be excited for somebody else's life. And, you don't have to enjoy the exact same things or be the exact same way to be a support, to
Yeah.
be a friend. So I think that's an important part of this book. And part of that is because, with one of the reasons it's coming up so much too is we're writing a lesson plan also. Or I should say I am
Hmm.
had Mason do some of the drawings for
Yeah.
it, but we're creating lesson plans to go with this book because I feel like the lessons in here are important for kids to learn
Hmm.
and to have that empathy, to have sympathy, to learn about being inclusive to others. And so anyways, so we are working on that and that's going to be sent. We'll announce when those I'm publishing one of them August 1st. It's going to be on Amazon.
Because you totally want to have a teaching plan for yourself.
Yes,
Because
yes, but it's we'll go more into that later because I can explain more about that.
there's a lot about it. How many pages?
It's 102 for kindergarten through second grade. We have 8 different lesson plans in there,
Very
and it's all based off the book. It's kind of a cool, I think for me, it's been my goal with this, and his goal is to reach others and to teach these skills from a young age to raise adults who are, super cool humans.
super
Just,
cool humans. That needs to be
yeah.
the name of a group,
I mean, right?
SCH, super cool
Yeah. If
humans.
you have a band, if you're looking for, there you go. There you go.
Super cool humans.
And so I think it's like that's so important and it can change the future. Teaching one of the lesson plans is about science and how you discover and create treatments, and the other one's about nonprofit organizations, but they're done in ways where I think it's important to introduce these concepts. Kids are really smart. And I always know with Mason, like, don't underestimate them.
You just need to have the perseverance and you need someone to be there to help you. Don't expect to just be able to do everything yourself because that's not what's going to happen. When you're learning, you need a lot of help.
Good teachers,
Yeah, you
good
need good
teachers.
teachers.
Yeah.
Patience is definitely a key, but you have the capability to do what I do. It's
Mhm.
just what makes you the happiest and where do you want to put your brain power? Anyone has the capability.
And it's cool to challenge kids to
Mhm.
think about these emotions, to think about things bigger than who they are, and to think about in the concept of maybe some of the kids in the class are different. Maybe some of the kids in the class have different diagnoses. Maybe there's all kinds of reasons that this is super important to me, to Mason. This has been it's all been a big deal to us to get this out there. So we just kind of wanted to tell you guys a cool story today, and to just bring up kind of what this book is about. And that way, if some of you have been like, I'm not sure, like, check it out. We are trying to get it into our local library. I
Mhm.
believe it should be available soon. A lot harder to get into libraries across the nation because we're local authors here. It's easier to get into ours.
Oh, you're local? Yeah,
But yeah, but we are open to sending copies for free to libraries to put in there because we would like everyone to have access to this and be able to enjoy and to read it and to learn about our friends and all the people who are so
all the
cool
great
in our
books. Yeah.
lives. And so yeah, so that's kind of like, and just as a reminder, like, you guys can always reach out to us if you need some support, if you're just not even if you just want to, it's just for friendship, if you want to tell us about your story, because sometimes people don't know where to look, and it's like, who's going to listen, that's going to understand this, that's not going to think, look at me like, oh, you're complaining, go take a supplement. Like, it's so that is not us, and we
No.
get it. If you feel like maybe you need advice or where to be pointed to and just need, we're always here, and we understand that, we're you may not know us, and but we can relate. Like Mason, we can connect because I think that you're automatically, if you have this disease, you're like automatically family. I feel like
It's one big
it
family.
is. It is. And it's like, we get it. We understand. Yeah, it's a crazy disease. And even like Mason's been having some
Problems
symptoms.
lately, yeah.
And that's been rough too, because
Bright side, silver linings, college is almost over, so thankfully it's happening now and not
right,
like.
right. Because I'm like, he's in his, it actually he had finals week last week.
Mhm.
He had his press conference with the San Diego Blood Bank. And then this week is another finals.
And
And
it's really hot.
and he was starting to get symptomatic, and I was like, oh no, just it's just it really, you guys all understand that feeling, when things are going great and then suddenly they're not.
Something
And
happens.
yes,
And you're
something.
like, oh no.
And you're trying to identify, like, okay, maybe, so anyways, Mason will be getting some labs done. He'll be getting infusion on Tuesday. I have notified his doctors of the changes to see if they want to do any additional labs. And so that's all. That's really, and we're also using there's a journal here
Yeah.
and here. We have two journals to help you guys also that we created, which he uses, and we just turned it into books so you guys could use it too if you wanted. But those are also the journals he's been using to record things. Is it just something normal people, you never know.
So
So
basically,
anyways,
you're like, life is boring. You can be thankful that life is boring.
we always tell people that when, like, how are things going? I'm like, boring, which is good.
Good.
Boring is excellent. Boring is where we want to be. It's been a little bit tough, and it was a good, I thought that's, I'm like, it's probably a good time to talk about something because there's probably other people out there who maybe things were going great or maybe things haven't been, but
Hmm.
start thinking about how important it is to have
Support system.
that support system. So yeah, so
That tow truck.
this was kind of probably like a randomly, like, this wasn't like, we don't even have an like outline. We have to remember what to talk about. We have 4 points, but we just kind of sat down. We're like, let's just talk. So this is where it went.
Yeah.
So thank you to all our friends and family who support Mason, who've supported myself, because as anyone knows who is, on the other, who's the caregiver, who's the parent, who's the partner, you also need some support. And so it also means a lot to me, to the people who, who just kind of hold you up and give you humor, or just talk to you, just whatever. They can't solve your problems. It's like that's not the reality of it,
It's a game
you
of
know?
rock, paper, scissors. There is no person who needs no support. Everyone needs to support someone who needs to support someone who needs to support the
Right.
other
It
person
just
who needs to
keeps
support the other
going.
person.
So, and that's the thing too. It's like it goes both ways. And I'm more than happy if and it's like if any of my friends need it, please. It's like I'm here to be a support too.
Mhm.
And it's pretty cool to have that. So with that, guys, you guys are welcome to check us out on Instagram, Team IB Determined. You can see Mason's pictures from the Blood Bank Press Conference.
Yes.
And then you can also follow the Reggie Project. We are getting that back up and going. We've actually this week I've been working a lot on our teamibdetermined.com. So that website is going to be like kind of our one-stop shop from now on, where you can.
And it's really cute. You showed me it. It's interactive, guys.
It's cute. I know. I'm like, I want to make this fun. Like,
How do you
uh,
make it fun? It's a little Disneyland for candles
yeah, I'm like,
and
it's
everything
cute.
you
It's
need.
fun. It's got all that stuff. I love it. I love that kind of thing. It brings me joy. It makes me happy. I have my other business site, and that stuff is kind of like that's is what it is. But this was like fun to get creative. And so, you can find our candles on there, our books. There's going to be a teacher section. There's going to be PDF downloads for the teachers. There's going to be the Reggie Project. There is going to be Karmatude clips are going to be on there because that's what we're also working on. So we have so much going on, but there's a lot of good and, we're narrowing it down. So that's what we've been doing. So anyways, so teamibdetermined.com, you guys can check that out. It's kind of, under construction, but it's getting there. And then you guys can also listen to us on any podcast station like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, or Apple Podcasts, or check our Buzzsprout link that is included.
All of the
Tell you where to listen.
listening to us already on podcast station. I don't need to do that, but hey, there's more. And
you want to watch us and
if you want
see
to
the
watch
cool,
us and see the cool
and
truck
the
that's
cool.
driving by on the screen right now, it's totally off-roading. Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Totally
see the truck he got.
off-roading.
Yeah, his hospital truck.
Then you should watch us on YouTube. There's also a YouTube podcast, but there's also YouTube videos. So make sure to give us like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we post a new video, make sure to hit that bell icon and make sure to leave a comment. We love getting comments. Maybe we helped you see and look for a support system. Maybe you need one, so reach out to us. Just want to say hello, just want to be a friend, just let us know. If you know who RC Sparks is.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah,
Hi, guys. Because we know they're watching.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to at least tell them, like, hey, guys.
We should probably put the truck in. Should the truck be in the thumbnail? No, I don't know.
It could be.
Hey, look, it's a pop of color, guys. I think this would work pretty well to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if it's in the thumbnail, and you got to this point, you'll know why we had this whole discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, we thank you guys for listening.
Yes, thank
you. And also this happened, it's been 3 years since we started this podcast, which is
That's crazy.
yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah. So that is it seems hard to believe. 2023. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And the goal was that first year it was like just do 1 year, one video, one podcast a week. And once we made it to 1 year, we're like, let's keep going, but let's make it 2 podcasts a month. So it's every 2 weeks because he, with his workload and with my workload, it was like, let's do that. Let's make it realistic. So something we can actually complete. Set realistic goals, guys. It helps you keep them.
So third time's a charm, guys.
And
After
then
this is ending, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
And for 3 years now, we've been talking about having guest stars and we have not had any. And that's, and that is not because there's lack of people wanting to talk with us. There are people who have been like, hey,
we have multiple people. Dr. Miller wants to be one.
His pediatrician is every time he has his well check.
He's like,
for the past 3 times. He's like, guys said, I know, but we want to have him on here, and so
we need to have him on here.
I just have to get organized.
Yeah,
and
it requires a lot of organization, a lot of synchronization.
So we are getting there. So if you guys have watched these and you're like, you still haven't done that,
you're writing. You are still slacking.
Yeah, but you're right. We haven't, and the plan is to do that. So hopefully we will be able to do that as because we'll probably be heading into our next season here pretty soon. And so hopefully that'll bring some guest appearances.
At the end of the first season and the start of the second season, I'm like, we're going to get some guest stars this time.
Be back a year from now. It's like, so guess what, guys?
So guys, guess what's going to be in the 4th season?
Yeah.
So we're going to get some guest stars hopefully this time.
I know. We're going to work on it. I'm going to try to get organized. It's on me. I have to, I will I will work on that. So, all right, we're gonna let you guys go
Yeah.
and enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, your morning, whatever it is. And hopefully you're having a good day. If you're not, reach out, find support, and make it the best day you
You can
can.
make it. Yep.
All
Find
right,
silver lining
find yourself.
and find the tow track.
Find your tow truck that'll help
Yeah.
dig you out and pull you out of that whatever mess you're currently in. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and we will see you back here in 2 weeks in the next
Next episode.
episode.
Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Bye bye.
We hope you will stick around, tune in, and reach out to us with your own journeys. We are excited to give you an inside view of what it takes to be a caregiver and what it's like to be a patient.
And most of all, we hope you'll maybe be able to apply something you hear on here that might help you in your own life. Sometimes life changes, and it's all about how you handle the journey.